Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on something you brought to us, the connection between chancroid and vaginal health.
hmm
You've shared some excellent material, articles, notes, and our mission really is to sift through it and pull out the key insights for you. We want to understand that connection and, what can be done to support well-being.
Exactly. It's not just about the chancroid infection itself, is it? It's about how that whole situation might affect the wider vaginal environment.
Okay, so let's unpack this for anyone who needs a quick refresher. Chancroid, it's a bacterial STI caused by Haemophilus ducreyi.
Right.
And it's known for causing these really painful sores, ulcers on the genitals, and often swollen lymph nodes down on the groin. Spreads through direct sexual contact.
Pretty unpleasant stuff.
Definitely. And look, the immediate focus naturally is on treating those sores, get rid of the infection. But what you've highlighted, and rightly so, is that we need to think bigger picture. What's the ripple effect on overall vaginal health?
Absolutely. Even if those main sores are external, the infection itself, and crucially, how your body responds to it, well, that can definitely influence what's happening inside the vagina.
Right. And the info you sent lays out about 4 main ways this can happen.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first one. Throwing off the microbial balance. Why is that such a big deal?
Well, the vagina has this really delicate ecosystem, and the stars of the show are usually lactobacillus bacteria.
The good guys.
The good guys, exactly. They produce lactic acid, which keeps the vaginal pH nice and acidic. That acidity is like a natural defense shield against, well, less friendly bacteria and fungi.
Okay.
Now, an infection like chancroid caused by Haemophilus ducreyi, or even the antibiotics used to treat it, can unfortunately knock back those lactobacillus levels.
Ah, so it disrupts the defense team. And what happens then if those beneficial bacteria take a hit?
So when you have fewer lactobacillus, you get less lactic acid. This means the vaginal pH can start to rise, becoming less acidic. And that less acidic environment, it's like opening the door for other organisms. It makes it easier for bacteria linked to bacterial vaginosis or BV, or for yeast to overgrow, leading to yeast infections, maybe even increases the risk of UTIs.
Wow, so it's like a domino effect. One imbalance makes space for others.
Precisely. Think of it like taking a key player off the field, the whole team's defense can weaken.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the second way chancroid can mess with vaginal health?
Increased inflammation. That's the next one. Your immune system obviously gears up to fight the Haemophilus ducreyi.
Right, its job.
Yeah, doing its job. But this leads to local inflammation around the sores in the genital area. What's interesting is that this inflammation, even if it's mostly external, can still kind of indirectly affect the vaginal tissues. It might tweak the pH slightly or just contribute to a feeling of irritation or dryness inside.
So it's not just the bug itself, but the body's reaction to the bug that causes trouble.
Exactly. The collateral damage, so to speak.
Okay, and the third point you mentioned was emotional and physical stress, which, dealing with a painful STI, that sounds inherently stressful.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty intuitive, isn't it? Having something painful like chancroid is stressful physically and emotionally. And that stress triggers stress hormones. Those hormones can influence your overall hormone balance, even impact how well your immune system works. Plus, sometimes stress makes people change their daily habits, maybe hygiene routines slip a bit or change.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And all these things together, they can indirectly affect vaginal comfort and, again, that microbial stability we were talking about.
It really shows how connected everything is: mind, body, immune system.
Totally.
Okay, and the last point from your sources on how chancroid impacts vaginal health was changes in sexual behavior.
Right, which is completely understandable. If you're experiencing pain or discomfort from chancroid, or you're worried, quite reasonably, about passing it on, you might change your sexual activity.
Makes sense.
And sometimes this can mean less natural lubrication during any sexual activity, which could lead to friction, maybe some irritation of the vaginal tissues, just another factor influencing that delicate environment.
So yeah, it's clear. Even though chancroid might seem like a localized problem, its effects can really spread out, impacting overall vaginal health in ways you might not immediately expect.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the next big question. Why should someone really focus on keeping their vaginal health in good shape while they're dealing with chancroid?
That's such a crucial point. Because good vaginal health isn't just, a background thing. It's fundamental for your reproductive wellness, your quality of life. And when you're already managing chancroid with medication, actively supporting your vaginal environment can be, well, a really powerful ally.
Okay. And the info you shared gives us, 3 key reasons why this matters? Let's start with preventing secondary infections.
Yeah, we touched on this. A healthy vaginal microbiome with that low acidic pH is your natural defense force. Keeping that balance strong significantly cuts down your risk of getting those secondary issues, the BV, the yeast infections, maybe
Right, you don't
UTIs.
want to be fighting on two fronts.
Exactly. Dealing with chancroid is enough without adding another infection on top. It just complicates things and makes recovery longer and more uncomfortable.
Makes total sense. What's the second reason to prioritize vaginal health here?
Enhanced tissue resilience. Think about it when your vaginal tissues are well hydrated, have a balanced community of microbes living there, and aren't dealing with excess inflammation, they're just healthier. They maintain their integrity, their elasticity.
Okay.
And this resilience helps ward off problems like dryness, itching, or general pain symptoms that can definitely feel worse when another part of your system is already under stress from the chancroid.
So keeping the tissues strong and healthy helps them cope better. And the final key reason.
Immune support and potentially faster recovery. A healthy vaginal ecosystem actually helps support your local immunity right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so by fostering a strong defense system at the vaginal level, your body might just be better equipped to handle the effects of the chancroid infection and maybe bounce back, feel more comfortable and confident a bit quicker.
All right.
Yeah.
So supporting vaginal health isn't just a side note. It's really part of managing chancroid effectively.
Mm.
Okay, now, your sources also get into practical steps, these sort of holistic approaches to support vaginal health.
Yes. Because while the antibiotics or medical treatment for chancroid is number one, these other strategies can really work alongside that treatment to boost your overall well-being and specifically your vaginal health.
Great, let's walk through those. First up, nutrition and hydration. Seems basic, but how does it help here?
Well, they're foundational for all health, right? And they definitely impact vaginal health. A balanced diet, think of vitamins, minerals, lean protein, healthy fats, supports your immune system, which needs to be strong when fighting infection. And hydration, super important. Being well hydrated helps keep all your mucous membranes healthy, including the vaginal lining, helps keep it moisturized, resilient.
Fueling the body correctly. Makes sense. Okay, second approach. Regular exercise and stress management.
Yeah, moderate exercise is great for circulation, which, can potentially help with healing and stress. We already talked about how much impact that has.
We did.
So finding ways to manage stress, mindfulness, yoga, a hobby you love, whatever works for you, helps keep those stress hormones in check, supports your immune system, and that can indirectly help maintain vaginal balance too.
Right, looking after the whole system, mind and body. The third one is gentle hygiene practices. This seems obvious, but are there specific things to avoid?
Absolutely. Douching is generally a no-no. It really disrupts that natural bacterial balance.
Okay, good to know.
And harsh soaps, heavily scented products, they can irritate the delicate vulvar and vaginal tissues.
Yeah.
Best bet is to stick with plain water or maybe a very mild, fragrance-free cleanser and only on the external area. Also, breathable cotton underwear is usually recommended. And changing out of damp clothes like swimwear or sweaty gym gear promptly. You don't want to create a damp environment where unwanted microbes can thrive.
Good practical tips. Easy enough to follow. Okay, fourth holistic approach. Prompt treatment of secondary infections.
Yes, super important. If you notice any new symptoms, changes in discharge, a different odor, unusual itching, burning, basically, anything suggesting a secondary infection like BV or yeast might be brewing.
Don't ignore it.
Exactly. Get it checked out by your doctor or healthcare provider quickly. Catching those things early stops them from getting worse and adding to your discomfort while you're already dealing with chancroid recovery.
Definitely need to stay vigilant.
Yeah.
And the fifth approach mentioned is probiotic support for the vaginal microbiome. This sounds quite targeted.
It is. This involves using specific vaginal probiotics, often taken orally or sometimes vaginally, to help replenish and support those good lactobacillus bacteria we talked about earlier.
Actively boosting the good guys.
Precisely. It helps maintain that protective acidic pH and generally supports a healthier vaginal environment, naturally discouraging the less desirable microbes. It's a way to promote balance without using hormones, and it can help bolster local immunity too.
Okay, let's dig into probiotics a bit more then.
Yeah.
How exactly do they help the vaginal environment? What are they doing?
Well, the main thing, as we said, is replenishing those beneficial bacteria, especially the lactobacillus strains. They are the workhorses down there. They churn out lactic acid, which is key for keeping the pH low. And that low pH is really hostile to a lot of the bacteria and yeast that can cause infections. So that's job number one.
Keep things acidic. Got it. But you mentioned other benefits too.
Absolutely. Probiotics don't just affect pH, they can also help modulate the local immune response. This means they can help calm down excessive inflammation and irritation in the vaginal tissue.
Okay, that sounds useful.
Yeah, so a balanced microbiome generally leads to a more stable, less reactive environment. It can ease discomfort like dryness, itching, or just general sensitivity.
That seems especially relevant if the body's already dealing with inflammation from something like Chancroid.
Exactly. And there's another key benefit. They can contribute to enhanced local immune function.
How so?
Well, the beneficial bacteria in a healthy vaginal microbiome actually interact with the immune cells present in the vaginal lining. They kind of help prime and strengthen the local defenses against potential invaders.
Ah,
So, yeah, it's not just about crowding out bad bugs, it's also about actively supporting the body's own defenses right there at the front line, whether that's against the initial infection remnants or those opportunistic secondary ones.
so it sounds like probiotics really offer like a multi-pronged approach to supporting vaginal health, especially when things are stressed. Now, the information you shared also brings up a specific product called Balance Complex.
Yes, that's right. Balance Complex is presented as a targeted vaginal probiotic supplement. The formulation is specifically designed to help, well, restore that microbial balance, reduce inflammation, and support the immune defenses within the vaginal environment. And these are all really key things for women looking to maintain vaginal comfort and resilience, particularly if they're navigating challenges like an STI.
And it sounds like this isn't a brand new product. It's been around.
Apparently so. The notes mention it's been on the market for over 10 years, which is quite a while. And quite a lot sold, over 15 million capsules, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, and it highlights a high concentration of probiotics, 100 billion CFU per gram, it says. Plus, it includes ingredients like cranberry and D-mannose, which people often look for urinary tract health support as well.
And it seems quite popular based on the reviews mentioned.
It does. The information notes over 17,800 five-star reviews on Amazon, which is significant. It's also described as a maximum strength 17-in-1 strain blend.
Okay, quite a diverse blend then.
Seems so. And it also points out that it's non-GMO and produced in FDA-registered and GMP-certified facilities, standard quality markers people look for. And there's a mention of a satisfaction guarantee through Amazon's policy.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are some of the key ingredients in Balance Complex, and what are they supposed to be doing?
Sure. So the heart of it is that vaginal probiotic blend, the 100 billion CFU per gram one. It includes several specific lactobacillus species.
Right, the key players.
Exactly. Like Lactobacillus acidophilus, that's a classic one known for making lactic acid and keeping the pH right. Then there's Lactobacillus rhamnosus, often linked to enhancing immune response and reducing inflammation.
Okay.
Lactobacillus reuteri is in there too, which is thought to help stabilize the microbiome and maybe even aid tissue healing. Lactobacillus plantarum offers antioxidant protection and supports tissue integrity. And Bacillus coagulans is another type that contributes to overall microbial stability.
That's quite a team of probiotics. What about the cranberry and D-mannose blend? You mentioned urinary health.
Yeah, that blend is 300 milligrams. This combination is pretty well known for helping to discourage certain harmful bacteria from sticking to the walls of the urinary tract and the vagina. So it's aimed at reducing the risk of UTIs, which, as we discussed, can sometimes pop up when the vaginal balance is off.
Makes sense. I also see oregano leaf extract of 250 milligrams. What's the thinking there?
Oregano has natural antimicrobial properties, so the idea is it can help manage the growth of unwanted bacteria or fungi, hopefully without disrupting the beneficial probiotics too much.
And caprylic acid, 400 milligrams of that.
Caprylic acid is a fatty acid often used because it's known to target yeast overgrowth, like Candida. So that's aimed at helping prevent or manage yeast infections.
Okay. Then there are enzymes listed, protease and cellulase. Why enzymes in a vaginal health product?
That's interesting, right? Protease, 50 milligrams, and cellulase, 32 milligrams. They're thought to help break down bacterial biofilms.
Biofilms.
Yeah, they're like these protective slimy layers that communities of bacteria can form. They make the bacteria harder to get rid of, more resistant to immune cells and treatments. So the enzymes might help disrupt those biofilms, allowing the probiotics to work better.
Clever. Okay. Aloe vera leaf, 50 milligrams. Usually think that for sunburns.
Yeah. But internally, or in this context, aloe vera is included for its soothing properties. It can help calm irritated tissues, reduce inflammation, and potentially promote healing, useful if there's dryness or minor irritation.
And arabinogalactan, also 50 milligrams.
That's a type of prebiotic fiber. Prebiotics are basically food for probiotics. They help the good bacteria grow and thrive. Arabinogalactin might also have some immune-boosting effects itself.
Fuel for the good guys. Got it. Then there's aniseed and black walnut hulls, 50 milligrams each.
Aniseed has some antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, contributing to a balanced environment. Black walnut hulls are traditionally known as natural antifungal and antibacterial agents, again, supporting that healthy microbial balance.
And lastly, wormwood and reishi mushroom, 50 milligram wormwood, 25 milligram reishi. These seem a bit more unusual.
They are less common, perhaps. Wormwood is included potentially for supporting immune resilience and stable vaginal flora, especially during stress. Reishi mushroom is an adaptogen, a medicinal mushroom known for helping reduce chronic inflammation and enhancing immune responses. So it adds another layer of immune and anti-inflammatory support.
Wow, that is a very comprehensive formula. So bringing it back to someone managing Chancroid, how does a product like Balance Complex, with all these ingredients, potentially help?
Well, it seems designed to tackle several of the issues we discussed. Firstly, restoring microbial balance, replenishing those lactobacillus is key when the system's been disrupted.
Right.
Secondly, reducing inflammation and irritation. The soothing ingredients like aloe and the anti-inflammatory aspects of probiotics and reishi could help calm things down, ease dryness or itching. Thirdly, preventing recurrent infections by supporting a healthy pH and microbiome, and including things like cranberry, D-mannose, caprylic acid. It aims to lower the risk of getting those secondary BV, yeast, or UTI infections. And finally, supporting immune function and tissue integrity. The probiotics, prebiotics, and immune modulating ingredients all work towards helping the body's local defenses and promoting tissue health, which could ultimately support a more efficient recovery.
So it really seems to work on multiple angles to support vaginal health during a pretty challenging time.
That appears to be the goal, yes. And it's worth saying again, managing Chancroid effectively really needs that holistic view. You absolutely need the right medical treatment, the antibiotics, you need to be careful about preventing transmission, and then you layer on these supportive things. Good nutrition, managing stress, gentle hygiene, and potentially a targeted probiotic supplement like Balance Complex.
So the supplement is a tool, but it's part of a bigger strategy.
Exactly. It's about combining the necessary medical care with proactive steps to support your body's overall resilience and well-being. That combination gives you the best shot at navigating this smoothly.
Okay, great. So just to sum up the main points. Chancroid, while it's a specific STI, it's definitely clear it can have broader effects on vaginal health than one might initially think.
That's the core message, really. Understanding that connection is key. And being proactive about supporting your microbial balance, keeping inflammation down, and maintaining healthy tissues that can genuinely make a difference to your comfort and, well, your confidence during recovery.
And Balance Complex is presented as one possible resource, a tool that might help restore that equilibrium. But it works best alongside professional medical care and those healthy lifestyle choices.
Precisely. It's about using all the available tools wisely.
Now, before we wrap up, you also mentioned an online tool, vaginalquiz.com. That's vaginalquiz.com. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, vaginalquiz.com. It's described as a quick, science-backed quiz you can take online. The aim is to give you a more personalized analysis of your own vaginal health.
Interesting.
Yeah, the idea is that everyone's different, right? And lots of factors influence vaginal health. This quiz tries to help you understand your specific situation a bit better.
So it helps you figure out your own potential imbalances or needs?
That's the concept. Apparently, after you do the quiz, you get a customized report. It outlines your potential vaginal health profile, gives insights into imbalances you might be experiencing, and offers expert-backed suggestions tailored to your symptoms and lifestyle.
Wow, okay.
And it might suggest things like specific supplements or maybe lifestyle tweaks that could help promote a healthier balance for you personally.
That actually sounds like a really useful resource for anyone wanting to be more proactive and informed about this aspect of their health.
It does seem potentially valuable, yes. A convenient, private way to maybe get a bit more clarity on what your body might need or where you could focus your support efforts, even before seeing a doctor, or perhaps to have a more informed conversation when you do.
Good point. So for listeners interested in getting those personalized insights, checking out vaginalquiz.com could be a good next step.
Seems like a helpful resource to explore, yes. Empowering yourself with knowledge about your own feminine health.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a really enlightening deep dive. We've covered a lot, from the impacts of Chancroid to holistic support and specific tools. It really drives home the importance of listening to your body and taking an active role in your own feminine health journey.
Well said. It's all about informed, proactive care.